Welcome back to the Brakecast. I am your co-host, Brandon.
And I'm your co-host, Jake.
And today we have a special guest, a returning guest, our first one ever, Michael himself. He is back on the podcast again. We enjoyed having him last time, so of course we asked him back, and here we are.
It's great to be back, boys. Really excited to be on again.
Yeah,
Well,
we
excited
appreciate
to
you
have
coming
you,
on
yeah.
here. So our topic for today, kind of going off the trends of what we sort of done, since a lot of our audience is maybe young adults, high school, or even older adults, you never know. We are going to be talking about kind of our tips and tricks and experiences with living on your own, things you need to bring, reminders, things to make your life easier, our experiences, even horror stories, if we have any. Not any paranormal ones like last time, unless we want to go into that again. But we just wanted to go into it. So let's kind of kick this off. Michael, do you have anything for us to kind of get us started?
Yeah, so I was kind of doing some research on my own just to see, just because, I'm going to be moving into a, new place with some of my friends or some of our friends, like in August. Yeah, but yeah, it's I was just doing some research on some articles, like, didn't really find one that's personally spoke to me, so I kind of just took the best little pieces out of it. So I just kind of have 5 little things. So it's mainly just kind of being mindful of your utility usage, being respectful of each other's time and belongings, talk over everything with your roommates, good, bad, just see how they're doing, catch up with them. Probably, don't spend above your means, aka act broke so you stay rich. And then, 5th one, just have fun, let loose whenever you can, but be responsible too.
Hey, I think those are all good tips. Should we kind of dissect those one by one?
Yeah,
here?
sure. Let's go kind of one by one. Michael, you want to read the first one again? We can sort of talk about it, and then we feel comfortable. We can just sort of move on. I like those.
Yeah.
Those ones are really good.
Yeah. So, first one, be mindful of your utility usage. Some places they're going to have a fixed utility rate, but, sometimes they are fixed, but you can still be upcharged for it. So you just really got to look out for, the place that you're getting and everything. And, just doing basic stuff like, the energy conservation, like, turning off lights whenever you're not in the room, and, taking advantage of just, trying to, live and everything. But yeah, just doing all.
So, there's one thing with this that I would like to talk about and hear y'all's opinion is with like air conditioning and heat settings, because that is probably the biggest part of the utility bill.
Yeah, and that's a hot button issue with roommates too.
It is a
Some
very
people like
hot
it
button
cold,
issue.
some people like it hot, and
I remember,
there's in between.
Yeah, because I remember at with my old roommates, which some of them will be your new roommates, Michael.
Yeah, I think one of them, or no, 2 of them, if we do count, one of their brothers and stuff. That's kind of
yeah. But
Yeah.
I remember the thermostat was always set to 68 degrees. That is a somewhat controversial. In the wintertime, that's a pretty good number. I would say 68 degrees. It's also nice in the summertime, but it might. I don't know. I was always on the side of that might be a little too cold for the expense.
I feel like
I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to give my own take. So Arizona, when it's winter, which is in quotations because it's not really winter, I always just open my windows and we'll have our AC basically off, like no air flowing. We don't need it because you can open your window and you're fine. Like the cool air at night will help cool your room. But during the summer, man, the AC, that gets expensive. Like you got to be careful with that because it is hot. Your house becomes an oven and you want that AC up, but you got to have fans. That's what I've been doing. We got our AC at a decent temp, but I got a fan right next to my bed just to make sure I kind of stay cooled off.
Yeah. Because it gets super hot. Because I remember 2 years ago, our AC broke for 2 weeks. And it was probably at least 80 degrees, probably more. In the apartment.
Actually happened to me like a couple weeks ago as well. It got up to like 90. Well, last summer when I first moved in, it got up to like 90 degrees in my house. And I mean, I was like almost commando. I was sweating bullets out, laying in bed, like bacon, like I'm in an oven. Like it was horrible. I looked like a greasy pig. It was just nasty.
No, I did not wear a shirt that whole time.
It reminded me. So for Boy Scouts, we went to Florida. We were in the islands. This is with Zach. So him and I and like our troop. and it was super humid in Florida, like ridiculously humid. And like at night, one of the nights we stayed in the tent, it was cooler if you were out in the hammock because we were in an island and like there's the ocean right there. But we went in the tent one night, dude, and I have never sweat that much in my life until I got here. Like it felt like I was in a sauna. It was nasty.
Yeah, Boy Scout camps are like that, and those canvas tents.
Yeah. It was bad. But yeah, definitely be mindful of the utilities. Know the seasons. Have a window open. Nature can be your best friend sometimes. So use it to your advantage in certain seasons.
Oh yeah, and same thing going with the windows, not even just AC, but just with like natural lighting and everything too. Like that's a
Oh,
big one.
100%. There's sometimes I won't turn my light on. Like when I had my apartment, I wouldn't turn my lights on during the day if it was bright enough. Just have the curtains open a little bit.
No.
Yeah, plus getting
Yeah.
that natural sunlight's always really good just for
Exactly, that
health.
vitamin D.
And the natural air as well. Like if
yeah.
it's nice out, we never have the AC.
Yeah, because you're circulating some of the crap that's in the air too with the AC.
Yeah.
And it also makes your house smell better whenever you open a window, because instead of all the stank just circling around in the house, some of it will get outside. So some of that stank's gone.
Oh yeah, and then also just like having like a patio door if you have like little like screen like net one.
Yeah,
and everything, that's always really good. And,
we have one in our house. It's really nice to get some of that stuff just out.
Get the air movement.
Yeah.
Right.
So
all right,
yeah.
I think we can move on to number 2. I think we had a nice discussion.
All right, yeah. So this kind of is like part of it, and it is just sort of like a general tip, but being respectful of each other's time and belongings, I think, is a very big one. Just because living with other people, like, I mean, obviously living on your own isn't really living on your own. You're usually like living with another person. I mean, it depends on where you're at, obviously, but most people are going to be doing that, especially if they're younger. But yeah, just making sure that talking about like schedules and stuff, and just kind of seeing like where you're going to be at during the week. Obviously it really helps if like you have a time where you can all kind of come together and just sort of hang out and everything. But
yeah.
No,
that's a great point. Or what were you saying?
Oh yeah, well I was just going back like time and then belongings too, just like talking about like what's yours and like what should be shared.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude, I got stories about that, man.
Yeah, there's multiple ways you could go down this.
Yeah,
but
so
like with the
I
was gonna say with the time thing, let's say if you're in college living with roommates, like, and you work part-time, I'd schedule, if you can, try to schedule like your work days on the same, so then you can have the rest of the days like
yeah, facts. That's a good one.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
Yeah, so with stuff, oh my goodness, man, like dishes, dude, in my house we got dish city in my sink. But the problem is people use your dishes and then don't wash them because all of their dishes are dirty. So then all of a sudden you look in the sink and you see, oh man, there's like 3 of my plates and 2 of my spatulas, but I didn't use those yesterday. And of course it's somebody else. Then you individually got to wash them or else you're going to have no utensils. And it's horrible. So big tip, just if you're a roommate, whatever you cook with, just clean it immediately. After you eat, boom, clean it, put it away, be done. And
Same
please
day.
don't, like, if you have no dishes, wash them. That means you got to wash them. Don't take other ones. We have washing machines. Like, just, do a little rinse, get all the crud off, and just throw it in there, put a little washing machine pod and close it and get started. Like, it's just nasty because food cakes on and then, like, it's hard to scrape off and sometimes just on there forever. And then your dish is ruined.
Yeah,
no, that's exactly.
It's covered in mold.
Yeah, that's like if I ever ran for president, that would be like a law I would enact. Is you have to wash your dishes after you cook with them.
No,
I'm a big believer in that. That's definitely
because it is way easier to do it like when it's fresh.
Yeah,
I would rather be able to wash like a pan, a plate, a fork or whatever, than have to wash like all of my stuff all at once because no one wants to do that. That's why everyone puts it off. Just wash a little bit every single day. That's it, and it's so easy. Like now, I never have dishes anymore. Like I always clean my dishes. That's other people's business.
Yeah. One little might be radical opinion or idea.
Oh, break vlog alert. We got a radical opinion on the podcast. Radical opinion alert.
This isn't that radical. No, so something we discussed that we didn't actually follow through with is each person gets 1 plate, 1 bowl, and 1 set of silverware. That way you have to wash it.
Dude, that's clutch.
Whenever you're done. Like that's if you have an issue with that with your roommates, that might be a good
Dude, because
rule to
then,
implement.
oh, why is my bowl dirty? Like, I didn't use
Exactly.
it. Someone used it. And then
Yeah.
you get to the
Yeah.
bottom of it, then you box. Don't actually box your roommates. But then you could be like, yo, like, let's not do that. Just wash your dish. It's way easier too, right? Because then there's just less dishes in the sink in general.
Yeah, but that's honestly a good idea. Just one plate, one bowl, you know?
That's simplistic too. That's like that minimalist life. I mean, do you really need like 5 plates like per
Or
person?
10, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't really
And
think you need like that many plates. You just need the one plate and the one set of silverware, and that's it. What do you need like 10 forks for? You eat with 2 at a time or something?
Yeah,
Or maybe
exactly.
you're like Wolverine, you tape the forks on. Say you're using like 6 forks, like forks with the Wolverine claws. But that's a really good one, Jake. I might do that. I'm moving to a new city and I'm just living by myself, but that might be something I do. It's just like one of each.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Like if saves money too if you don't have any plates already.
That's true.
You only got to
yeah,
buy one.
So
I mean,
sometimes I just do paper plates because I'm just that lazy.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, like you could do like disposable stuff if you like really need it, but like that's more of like a one-time purchase if you are mostly just using like one plate and one bowl at like a time.
Yeah. I usually stick with like silverware as disposable. I always have a harder time washing like forks and stuff.
Oh yeah, no. Whenever the spoon gets in the sink and then it splashes all the water back on you.
That's true. That is
yeah,
a bummer.
Yeah, so maybe that's a sixth tip: get disposable spoons.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or just kind of rinse it with like low water pressure so you're not
Yeah,
getting Niagara Falls all over your shirt and it looks like you peed yourself.
yeah, that might be a better one. But you want to move on to the next one then?
Yeah, sure. I think we
yeah.
kind of got everything out of the way on
Oh, wait,
that one.
did we talk about the belongings part? Or wait, was that the right one?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
another
kind of what
one
we're
too.
talking about, like dishes and stuff. Like that was the main thing. Like,
Yeah, but we'll
Yeah,
talk about like just
we could also talk about the food in that
rooms.
yeah,
aspect, but
food is a big one. I didn't even think about
Like
that.
that, like a
Toilet
room
paper
for
and stuff
me
too.
is like that's your space. And unless I invite someone in there, I don't want people in there, period.
that's
Like,
right.
or unless I'm like, hey, could you go in there and do something? Like that's your own personal space, right? You have shared spaces. That's where you guys hang out and share stuff. But like you just need some alone time or just a space where you can go to be by yourself and have the option to do that. It makes your life a lot better, especially if you're like mad about whatever or like just, you just want to do homework or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, you're right. And with the food part, I guess we could kind of just simplify it by saying don't eat food that's not yours.
Yeah. When I lived at Arizona State, we had something called the Greek Leadership Village. It's basically 30 dudes living in one house. That was a rampant problem. People were just eating stuff. I had a locker and I could lock mine so no one took my food, but I remember people just eating other people's stuff and it was horrible. Because like half the house would grocery shop and the other like, 3 or 4 guys would just be the house fiends. They would just eat other people's foods they eat for free. And it was messed up. I was like, are you serious? Like, there's no way. Like, if that was me, like personally, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah. No, I feel like whenever you have people that like do that, I mean, obviously you shouldn't be living with them in the first place, so that should be one of those things. But uh, yeah, like so with that, I mean, as you get older, it's definitely something that you focus on like more and more, just taking care of yourself and everything. So that's probably more like a college issue, but
Yeah.
it's still a
Yeah.
good point to be
That's
made.
why it's nice knowing who you're gonna live with because you can kind of guess that. Like if you have to live with randoms, like you never know. Like there's some crazy people out there you could live with.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
look on Craigslist. Like
No,
you're gonna get like murderers and killers and whoever else you don't want to deal with.
no, yeah. Sam had some pretty bad, if you remember any of his dorm horror stories and everything from like
Yeah,
that.
that one dude.
Yeah,
We can't name him, but yeah, I remember that. That guy was weird, man.
yeah.
That dude was
Man,
suspicious.
yeah, that's why I never went down to visit him because I didn't want to have to talk to that guy. Just
That's why, yeah, your freshman year in the dorm, like you could get lucky. I had a really good roommate, like that was random. I never met him. He's from San Francisco. Cool guy. I actually saw him on the day of my college graduation, said what's up, talked to him. Cool guy. But like some people got some weird roommates, man.
yeah, it's
But like
just
if you can somehow room with somebody just do it. Like
exactly.
just room with someone you know.
yeah. Jake, didn't you live with your cousin for a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
with my cousin, so
Can we
that
name
was
drop
always
him?
fun.
He's been featured, but I don't know if we should.
Sure, Abram. That's
Ooh,
all you
okay.
need to know.
Everyone look him up right now. Everyone look him up. Dox him.
All right, maybe we shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
No, they're not gonna actually do that. No, but
Well,
just
our
make
viewers
sure.
are
Was he in the dorm with you?
nice. Yeah.
Dude, remember when we watched what was that show? It was like me, you, Wesley, we had Dominoes, and it was that show where they like made the weapons and stuff like that.
Oh,
Forge and Fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
that feels good.
Dude, hey, break vlog recommendation, like Trailer Park Boys, Forged in Fire. If you like Chopped but with like weapons, watch Forged in Fire.
No,
Way good. It can cut, it can kill. If you know, you know.
Yeah, no, whenever the kill test is always the best one. Whenever they do at the end, it's like it will kill. Like
Yeah,
that. So good.
that was a good show. Forged in Fire. Break vlog official recommendation.
we should make a page so we can have
Like a
all our
link?
recommendations on there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it. Stay tuned for an official break vlog link tree.
Endorsement.
Yeah.
The link tree takes us to the Patreon and then the Amazon wish list. The Google Doc for everything that you need to know if you're a Break vlog fan. And
no, we're gonna put it on Google Plus.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Google Plus. That's how, dude. I remember back in the day, like to change your profile pic on YouTube, they force you to use Google Plus, so then you'd have to interact with that app or that program or whatever, and that was the only reason why people ever used it.
Oh yeah, I think Ray William Johnson with like Equals 3 used to promote it on there all the time and everything. He'd be like, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus. It's like, all right, bro. It's like he's gonna be doing that last one. Like, come
That's
on.
crazy.
I completely forgot about Google Plus until right now.
I know. I just remember that from changing the YouTube profile pics.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. Hey, I think we should move on to the third one. I think this one's a good discussion.
Definitely. I mean, the third one's kind of within the same realm as the last one, but
I think they're all in the same realm at this point.
Well, yeah, but like specifically just like talking with your roommates, but like this is like talking over everything. So just like, like I said, checking up on your roommates and just kind of, seeing how they're doing, making sure your relationship is still good. And if it's not, then talk out your problems and everything and just try to sort it out. Because you're living with them and you're going to be for at least like, however long your lease is. So yeah.
Definitely group chat. That's essential. That's just really nice just to be like, oh, can someone do this? This group chat, like that's essential. But yeah, check up on them, see how they're doing. For me, I live with 4 other people. Right now, 3 of them are gone. But like during the school year, me and one guy, we play 2K every single day, like every single day. And I will say that he probably beat me maybe 20 times and we played like 200 games. So I whooped him. He's listening to this. He probably won't, but if he ever listens to this, just know that Jason, I used to kick your butt at 2K. But then there's him. One of my roommates was kind of in and out. One of them was actually an LA Chargers fan from San Diego. So him and I would talk football all the time. I'm a Chargers fan, by the way. These two aren't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
fans,
yeah. And then one of them, I collect Funko Pops, or I don't as much anymore. I just don't have the time or money to buy them. But him and I would collect them, so we'd kind of talk about it and stuff like that. Find that one thing in common. And then one of my other roommates is actually like close to 100K followers on TikTok. Big fitness guy. So like this dude is massive and shredded. So I talked to him about working out and stuff. But finding that one thing in common that you can kind of do with each of them is really cool. And you can get pretty like personal with them too. Like as a roommate, you kind of have that forever connection. Like when I move away, like I'll be like, I lived with them. That's just something that's like deeper than any other connection. Like it's just the most unique, I'd say. It's just to live with somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like you could be buddies and like the best friend, but if they're like, you could also be terrible roommates for each other too.
Yeah, it's definitely a make or break for your friendships, depending on whoever you move in with.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's like, if you move in with like a significant other, you see them every day. So that's something you got to balance. You'll see your friends every day, which can be great, but sometimes you're like, dude, stay away from me. Like, I don't want to see you right now.
Yeah, no,
just talk things out. Don't be passive aggressive. Sorry. Just don't be passive aggressive. Don't be petty. Just talk things out. It's just better. Just talk it out. Don't be petty. That's it. That's my take on that. If anyone else has anything else.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really agree with your point about the group chat though. I mean, we already had that established before we even like, moved or decided on a place and everything. It's like, we want to make sure we're all on the same page for every single thing that we're doing with that. I believe it's called the Lads, if I remember correctly. It's kind of like an offshoot of our other, main friend group chat. So kind of have that going, but yeah, Jake, any other things?
You guys about summed it up with that one.
All
Yeah, bro,
right.
you gotta have
That's
those sub group chats and can't have the losers in the real one.
Yeah.
If you're in a friend group and you don't see any sub group chats, you're probably not in the friend group, really. That's a break vlog piece of advice for you. If you're not in any sub group chat and you never have seen a sub group chat with your friend group, those aren't your friends. They're fake. Move on. Dude, we're dropping wisdom today in this one.
Yeah, this is the facts cast, really, but
It's a good name.
maybe break fast. Oh, break facts. Ooh, that's nice. All right.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Moving on to the next one.
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. So yeah, this one, don't spend above your means. So again, act broke, stay rich. So, just one of those things like, so this is especially for the college students with the part-time jobs out there. You definitely need to be mindful of this. It's just like budgeting and just like really focusing on what you need to, be spending your money on.
Yeah, no, I'd say this. Yeah, not even really like a roommate tip, but more of like just a personal
Like
finance tip.
Yeah.
Because if you're in college, like, and you have a part-time job, like, you don't have money for things, Like, I don't care if you think you do, you don't. So save your money, but also, like, I guess it'd be easy to get in that like mindset of, oh, I'll get a new job in a couple months and I'll just pay off everything. It's like, it works sometimes, but sometimes you could get messed up.
Yeah, definitely. But even like with just like general like savings and stuff too, just like, even if you have like a bunch of stuff saved up, just like don't go spending through it or anything, because you'd never know when you're going to actually need that, like, safety net and everything.
Exactly. Always have the emergency fund, like Dave Ramsey says. If you listen to Dave Ramsey, I don't know if anybody.
I personally don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I also don't have much to say about this because I have horrible spending habits. So let the experts do this. Just shop at Walmart for groceries. Walmart is
Aldi's,
clutch.
man.
Not even clutch one.
Aldi's is even cheaper than Walmart.
I just go to Walmart. They always just have what I need.
Do they have an Aldi's out in Arizona or no?
Probably. Yeah, we do. Walmart's just convenient.
Or
like go to Costco or Sam's Club. Use your friend's membership and go there.
Or your parents.
Yeah, use your parents. Get your roommates log in for any sort of streaming and then never get off.
Yeah.
Like, only one guy needs a Netflix account for 4 people.
If you have the smart TV in your living room or whatever, you got free Netflix for life after that. So log in on yours.
Pretty much. That's why, you got to get your TV down there. They log into everything. I'm never getting off that thing. Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever they got. Dude, whenever I lived at the Greek Leadership Village, like, people had like ESPN Plus, like Red Zone, all that sort of stuff. So just free games all the time.
Nice.
That's clutch. Yeah. So basically, don't spend above your means and like in brackets, like become a parasite whenever you can.
Oh, yeah. I guess that there's also something that has to do with roommates with that. If you have like a shared rent, or like if so it's different if you each pay like separate rent, but if you have like a shared like combined rent, you got to make sure that you have your finances in check so that you don't drag everybody else down,
Yeah, dude, because mine is, since I'm in a house, it is all shared. But like, I'm the one who pays the most inside the master bedroom. So I always pay like as fast as I can, just to kind of be like, yo, if I can pay, you have no excuse, because I pay more than anyone else here. So I always try to pay first. So I'm like, oh, if I can pay, like, you got to get your stuff together, because I can pay, and it's more.
Yeah, because if you don't pay, then there could be $100.
Yeah, remind people like if it's a couple days before the rent's due, just remind people, like, every day, like, be annoying. Be like, yo, rent's due. Like, if you have to get, like, physically be there and like knock on the door and be like, yo, make sure you're paying. Because those late fees are bad and they can ruin your credit for the future when you're trying to apply for loans and for homes and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Right.
I think we're kind of good there. Do you want to move on to the last one?
Yeah. I mean, the last one isn't like, a crazy like tip or anything, but it's just, like, have fun. Basically, that's all I wrote down, because it's like, it is the fun experience being able to kind of like live on your own, especially if it's for the first time and everything. It's like you get that freedom away from your parents and all that, and you get to spend time, like, you know,
Yeah,
outside. It
man,
really
the dorms, bro. The first time you were away from your parents, going buck wild, crazy in the dorms. Like first couple weeks, we don't remember we don't condone underage drinking here on Break Vlog, like we saw in the Westy video. But
However,
if we did, and if I did, I was definitely getting them bottles and beers and getting wasted in the dorm.
First, no, yeah, first couple weeks of the dorms, that's the time to do that.
Dude, yeah,
You
no
have like
school or
no
nothing. Where you got nothing
responsibilities.
better to do than get drunk.
yeah, just review your syllabus and then get plastered. That's it.
No, and
Syllabus
even
week,
that, like,
baby. That's when the
even
parties are happening.
Oh
no,
yeah,
and that's how you like meet
every bar.
like other people like in your dorm and stuff, is you go
Yeah,
party with them.
literally
Like that's how
dorm
you meet them.
parties.
And then if you, you know, if you party with them for the first week or so, you'll be going out, you know, partying with them for probably the rest of the year.
Yeah, and you got people to potentially live with in the future. You also got people to go out and eat with and just hang out with. So I guess that's veering into another way, but be out there. But yeah, in the dorms, I remember that. And then like your apartment, like I live in a house and um, you know, I graduated, but when I was in the fraternity, like we partied in this house. That was one of the houses that we used. So like this place would get crazy. And it's such fun memories. Like well, it kind of sucked, but waking up the next day and just walking down, just sludge and beer and just all like just the craziest stuff all over your floors. But it's one of those memories that like, oh man, I was able to do all this stuff with my roommates and like we lived at this house. It was a cool experience, like to host an event. Like hosting is fun. Like I enjoyed hosting
It
at my
is.
house. I didn't care. I could lock my room, none of my valuables are taken, and it was just fun to host. Like you feel good at the end of the night being like, yeah, I did that, and I gotta let people have a great time, and I gotta have a great time. Best thing is you get you know what, and then you just walk upstairs and you go to bed and you pass out.
That was good. But yeah, you gotta be, can't get the cops called on you.
No.
'Cause I remember at like 2 years ago, our place, there was this, I don't know what her deal was, but there was this girl that would call the cops no
Was it a
matter
Karen?
what. Like it, no,
I think.
she was,
Oh yeah, I
we
think I was
called her,
there for like
we
one.
called her the demon. But anyway, so like it was probably 9 o'clock p.m. on the first Saturday of winter break. And we had like 6 people in the apartment, maybe. And we were
Yep,
just
I
like
was
drinking
there.
and listening to music,
Yeah.
like drinking water and stuff and listening to music. And then like we got a knock on the door. It's a cop. It's like, yeah, we got a noise complaint.
Are you
I was like, are you
serious?
kidding me? It is like literally the first like Friday or Saturday of winter break at 9 o'clock. It was
I didn't even know
ridiculous.
you could get a noise complaint at that time.
And we weren't even that loud.
Pretty sure
And
that
then
wasn't the only time that night either.
yeah, no, yeah. And then she did that again at like 11.
Yeah, it was
That
like
was,
it wasn't even like a real cop. It was like MU like campus police that showed up. It was like really weird.
yeah,
It's like
it was,
we're off campus too, so it was just like
yeah,
Bro, that's
yeah. But
crazy.
you want
Okay,
to take your
another
neighbors
thing,
well.
if you're gonna do anything like that, recommendation, talk to your neighbors. Like let them know, hey,
yeah,
might do something here. Like this when I was at the house, like we went all the neighbors because we're in a residential neighborhood. So we would talk to all the neighbors, got them gift baskets, like Amazon gift cards. Just let them know, hey, talk to us first. But like in an apartment too, meet your neighbors, not even just for that, but just for the thrill of it. Because like you got cool neighbors. Next thing you know, you guys have gatherings together, meet more people, yada yada yada.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
great,
avoid
great
noise
advice.
complaints that way if you're cool with everyone.
Yeah,
On
and if you have weird roommates next door, then you just avoid them. And if you hear word bangs during the night or screams, you call the cops
yeah,
because they're probably murders or something.
yeah, the ones off Craigslist, the ones
Yeah.
that dorm.
I kind of want to talk about one more thing before we're done that's not on there.
Mhm.
I think we need to talk about how to find the perfect location, like scouting for apartments.
Ooh,
Because I feel like
okay.
we've talked about the living in it, but like scouting for an apartment is arguably more important.
Definitely.
So I'm just gonna throw out a couple things, and then if you guys want to add on, one of the things, obviously, number one, make sure it's within your means. Number two, make sure it's in like an area that you like or is helpful for you, whether it's close to work or close to campus or just whatever, like close to whatever. Just make sure you kind of look at the location, crime rates, anything like that. One of my friends, her friend got an apartment and like didn't look at any of that stuff. And then it's in a high crime neighborhood and she wants to get out of her lease, but it's signed. So she has to live there for 12 months in a terrible spot.
Yeah, no, I can attest to that because I had 2 of those in one. last year. So it was probably a little bit above my means. I mean, I stayed about even like in my checking account, like savings account the whole year. Like I didn't make any money because it was all going to rent.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it was like it was close to campus and all that. Like that was good location. It was close to downtown.
Yeah.
But it was also very high crime.
That was the Break Vlog hype
And
house.
yeah, and we got
Yeah.
our TV stolen out of our living room.
Really? I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Dude, that place was cool though, which is such a shame it was in that area because it was convenient.
It was a really nice apartment too. It was just
The Break Vlog
the
hype house, man.
yeah. Oh, and then one of my roommates, the first time, he parked his bike out on the bike rack, and literally like 10 minutes later, he looks out and there's some like guy looking at it, like just staring it down.
What type of
He's
lock
like,
did he
"Hey,"
have? Did he have one like wrapped around?
yeah, but he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then the guy just like left, and so he's
Dude,
like, "No."
Arizona State, bro, it's notorious. Like, dude, if you have like one of those ones that just wrap around, and if you leave your bike overnight, bro, they clip them, they take them. So you'll
Yeah.
see like homeless people or people in the street with these super nice bikes, and it's just because they stole them from ASU.
Dude, there's a
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I was. You got
yeah,
it.
well, just with the bike thing, there's a story that I heard one time where some guy, it's like he got his bike seat, like the seat stolen. Excuse my cat, she's right here. But yeah.
Always be on the
Anyway,
podcast.
yeah.
Welcome our new
Hey, that's our
guest.
first cat and break vlog.
Yeah, this is a
Oh, there
cat
we go.
cast.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get some butthole action.
Yeah,
potentially.
probably want to censor that for our viewers, unless
All right,
you're a
nah,
weirdo
she's laying down.
cat
We're good.
person.
Yeah, no, don't need any of the, like the furries. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, but like some guy got like his bike seat stolen, like just the seat, and so he ordered in a new one, but it took like a bunch of weeks to get there. And then as soon as he got the bike seat, and finally like the next day he went out to go put it on, and then the rest of the bike got taken. So it was
Oh my god,
Dude, that's horrible.
that is awful.
Yeah, if you own a bike and you live somewhere, just
Don't leave it outside.
don't leave
yeah,
it outside.
if you have
ever.
a garage, use it. Like
Yeah,
that is,
garage,
Oh.
even put it in your
oh
room
wait,
if you
yeah,
have to.
Jake, you got a good going.
Oh yeah, at my girlfriend's old apartment. So this girl kept her bike like on. There's this fence, like kind of a fence. It was more of a railing that went up,
Mhm.
like into the door, like to get into the place. And she kept her bike chained up there. And then one day she went out, and they literally just took out the post that her bike was chained to, and took the bike.
Jesus. Dude, I brought my mom's bike one time to Arizona State, and then I chained it at our Greek leadership village, and the next day it was stolen. And my mom was so mad that and it was a nice bike too. So she just took mine. And she's like, if you want a bike, you're gonna have to buy it yourself.
Wow. Yeah. Don't
So make sure you
don't leave
scout
your
out.
bike.
Yeah, make sure you scout out your location. Look at the pictures, take a tour, see, look up the crime rates, see what's around there for the fun and just, for your safety and things like that. And my new apartment I just got, like I'm 5 minutes from where to work, super quiet area and like no crime. So it's perfect for me. But if you want more of a busy environment, something downtown, you got to take that in consideration. But of course, that might cost more. So you got to outweigh those things. You and your roommates, make sure you guys are talking about it all the time. And if
Yeah.
you're a roommate and someone else is bringing it up, make sure you participate. Because otherwise, you might get stuck in an apartment you don't like, and it's your fault because you didn't talk.
Yeah. And you gotta figure out your priorities, I guess. Because if you're one of those people that likes to go to the bars like every night of the week, you should probably get a place downtown.
Yeah, but that costs more, so you got to
It
think about
does.
that.
But then again, if you're going to the bars every night of the week,
Yeah. Well, then
you
that
probably
might be
have
another issue besides financial too.
Yeah, that might.
Break
that might
vlog,
go
we do
into
not
it.
condone alcoholism.
No, we do not.
We only condone full sins. But with that, unless anyone else has anything, I think it is good to wrap up. Michael,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, I have one more thing I just thought of. With the apartment, even though it is your own living space, be respectful of the environment that you're in. Like, don't be destroying everything, and like, don't like, leave stuff out. I mean, that kind of goes into, like respecting each other's time and like, belongings and stuff. But the apartment is like for everybody. So it's like collectively you have to come into an agreement that you need to like keep it
Mhm.
like in top
Pick up your
notch.
trash, leave it better
Yeah.
than you found it.
You
Yeah.
also want to keep your security deposit. So
Yeah.
True.
Big one.
But I think with that final thought, we are going to close here. Michael, thank you so much for joining us once again. It is always a pleasure. Come back whenever you would like. And I am your co-host, Brandon.
and I'm Jake.
And this has been Brakecast, and we will see you next time.